NAT, IPv4 and IPv6. Hello everyone, today we're going to talk about NAT and pretty much what it is and what it is used for. So NAT pretty much is a mechanism that makes the traffic from a private network to becoming just to a single valid internet address, but not to everywhere. And so in the most simple words, NAT is basically the service which effectively hides the private addresses from the internet. So yes, some of the addresses are actually private and they're used by different devices. So for example, if you want your network to use multiple IP addresses, you can locally use multiple private IP addresses and connect to the internet by only a single IP address. In that way, you are saving quite a lot of public IP addresses that you actually don't need to use, because in your private network you can pretty much choose any IP address for any device. So for example, if you are a company and you have a lot of machines in your seat, this doesn't mean that you need to have public IP addresses for all of them. Instead, you can have for all of your machines different local or private IP addresses and only one public IP addresses which will connect all these machines to internet. So in terms of that, there are two types of the NAT operations. The first one is static, where a private IP address is always translated to the same public IP address, and by doing this your host within the network will be visible in internet. There is also the dynamic way, where a router is assigned to different IP addresses, so each private IP address is mapped using only one of the IP addresses of the router that has been assigned to it. And when doing that, it is actually very important when using the NAT service to have an increased security, because we need to make it difficult for external hosts to enter the network through the public IP address. For example, you wouldn't want somebody to access your IP address and consequently your devices and to log in into your machines through internet. Now let's talk about the different IP address types, and we're going to start by IPv4. So the IPv4, the base idea behind it is to allow computers to connect to internet regardless of what device we use. So basically each device that is connected to internet gets a unique code that can be used to receive data from other connections. The IPv protocol pretty much consists of 32 bits length, which means that we have access with the IPv4 to over 4.3 billion IP addresses out there. And as we said, the IPv4 is already to its maximum capacity, so all of those IP addresses, all these numbers have already been reached. So usually the IP addresses from the IPv4 consist normally of 4 groups of 8 bits. 8 bits means that there are 256 possible numbers for each position. For each of those 4 positions, you have 256 possible numbers. And this is how actually we're calculating how many IPv4 IP addresses are. You just need to multiply 256 4 times. So 256 multiplied by 256 multiplied by 256 multiplied by 256, and you will get some number around 4.3 billion. So according to the rules for obtaining the IPv4, there are few classes that are ranging different IP addresses. Class A, Class B, Class C, Class D, which is the multicast, and also Class E, which is the experimental class. So the multicast and the experimental IP addresses usually cannot be used as a source of addresses, so we cannot usually use these addresses because they are already in use. We normally have the IP address 0.0.0.0 as an identifier of the IPv4, and 127 .0.0.0 as identifier of the physical loopbacks over the network. And also we have the 255.0.0.0, which basically identifies the broadcast addresses, so we can also not use these ones. Now, what is IPv6 and what is the use for it and what is the need for it? Well, basically the IPv6 consists of 128 bits, which is way more numbers comparing to IPv4, and we created this space of IP addresses simply because we run out of IP addresses over the web. So we wanted to ensure that we have that space, and the IPv6 addresses are no way near to getting expired because there are so many of them that we would never be able to reach. They basically consist of 8 groups of 16 bits. And as you can see an example of IPv6 address, you can see that 16 bits means that these 8 groups can include not only numbers but also letters, which increase further the number of possible IP addresses. For example, if we go now to the terminal, we can actually check that. Let's exit here, and then I will write if config, and if we take a look here, you can see that in the Ethernet, in the INET or the internet, we can see an example of the IPv6 address, and you can see in INET 6, which is saying to us that is IPv6 format of address, and you can see all the letters. So this is actually an IP address. And for example, if the mode of the IP address is IPv4, you can actually see that here we get it in that format. So you can make the difference between the IPv6, which is this type of IP address, and IPv4, which is the other type of IP address. And if you want to take a look at your computer, you can definitely do it with the ifconfig command, which will basically show you all the IP addresses on all the devices connected to your computer. That's it, guys. Thank you very much for watching that video. I hope now you're pretty clear about how your computer connects to internet and how our devices basically connected to your computer. That's it. Thank you very much for watching, and I will see you in the next video.